Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40k Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Adeptus Mechanicus as we get into a Reclaimator. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40k content every single day, and if you have any suggestions, just comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Reclaimators. Reclaimators are the most skilled and certainly least trusted of the Adeptus Mechanicus minor ranks of the Tech Priests. It is their task to redeem raw materials from old and damaged systems, to scavenge parts, and be tasked with the endless cycle of minor repairs needed to keep a starship flying or a hive city's infrastructure from collapsing under its own weight. By necessity, a Reclaimator's skill begins to stray into a higher understanding of machinery and technology than most of their brethren, and many learn to worship the machine god in a fragmentary and superstitious manner, marking them apart from their fellows. Reclaimators themselves are often sent into dangerous or unsafe areas with little direct supervision, and they scavenge and salvage a good deal more than their masters know. As a result, most Reclaimators have a well-deserved reputation as suspicious, shifty characters who sell their skills and the items they retrieve or repair for a good profit on the Imperial black market. Many have links to criminal gangs, and more than a few are willing to resort to robbery and even murder to build up their spoils if they think they can get away with it. Technology is a thing little understood in the Imperium of Man, and its workings lie shrouded in mystery and superstition for most of humanity. The Adeptus Mechanicus holds undisputed rights to the secret lore of science and technology, but the Tech Priests themselves are comparably few in numbers when set against the teeming billions of the hive worlds, or even the isolated crews of starships plying the void. Such people rely on technological infrastructure simply to live, be it a hive wreck recycling system or a ship's thermal heaters. The ongoing, low-grade maintenance of such petty systems, along with the day-to-day workings of the most sophisticated parts of a manufactorum's machinery and the like, are left to the armies of technomats, functionaries, duck crawlers, voidwalkers, and work perfects, gifted by their Mechanicus masters with just sufficient knowledge to perform their tasks with due diligence to the machine spirit and nothing more. And of this small group, arguably the most skilled are the Reclaimators. Despite their vital purpose, however, they rarely enjoy a good reputation, although in some places their ill renown is more deserved than others. In the depths of the Silbalus Underhive, it is well-organized networks of heretics and wrecks that are the real power behind the infamous narco-gangs. On the war-ravaged planet like Tranche, the men and women who make up the numerous Reclaimator pacts that prowl the ruins are often little more than murderous bandits, weighed down by the dead men's plunder and broken trinkets. Among the Voidborn, it is no different. The wrecker crews of breaker ships and the junkers are considered untrustworthy and the accursed of their kind, and the Void families tell dark stories of death skulls, haunted vessels filled with scavengers, driven to cannibalism and madness by want or by uncovering something best left alone in their desire for valuable salvage. There are some portions in space where Reclaimators are held in high esteem, and that place is Volg. In this most nightmarish of hives, the Reclaimator's knowledge is a vital part of sustaining life against the myriad hazards that hivers must struggle against on a daily basis. Given very little to work with in the massive hive city's environment, the Reclaimators of Volg have a reputation for coming up with nearly miraculous solutions to keep their things running, and ever more intuitive salvage weapons to drive away the bloated, mutated things crawling up from below. Some point to their unusual design in the local worship of a debased form of a machine god by the Reclaimators in the shape of an iron skull. It is evidence of the influence of rogue tech priests exiled to Volg as punishment in times past. Hive and void-born poor imperial citizens with a technologically minded bent, or those who fancy themselves as deal-makers and traders, often start their careers as technomats and Reclaimators before focusing on more lucrative work. For those born in the iron canyons of a Forge World's macro industry, the path of the Reclaimator, and perhaps ultimately the heretic, is a natural one to follow. Likewise, the Inquisition sees Reclaimators as a useful resource, often a cut above their low-born kind in terms of intelligence. A Reclaimator can make an excellent agent for infiltrating criminal gangs, contacting cult groups and passing unobscured through the hive and underhive, while their void-born brethren are just as useful aboard ships or working orbital and dockyards. The most gifted and reckless Reclaimators learn too much, either through acquiring knowledge forbidden to them through stealing data, by daring the tech heresy of innovation, or the blasphemy of reverse engineering. In doing so, they become something far worse. They become heretics, subject to the harshest of penalties under law, and the wrath of the cult of the machine god. Heretics are outlaws who use their skills to arm and equip criminal gangs, and even chaos cults and mutant renegades, as well as supply the various underhives with a wealth of illegal drugs, forbidden technology for profit, or more rarely, to fund their own dangerous experiments. The more common heretics, and those that pursue other rarer tech heresies, such as the creation of artificial sentience, illegal bioconstructs, and the use of xenotechnology, are subject not only to punishment by the imperial law and the persecution of the Inquisition, but also to bring down the wrath of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. And those were 40 facts on the Reclaimators. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What's cool about the Adeptus Mechanicus is that the hierarchy is very complex, but at the same time it's not always the same. It's unique depending on your Forge world and depending on your planet. So while you might have Reclaimators in one planet fulfill a certain purpose, in another planet they're going to be something completely different, which adds flavor to it. But then what that means is that whenever we see classes or units within the Adeptus Mechanicus or the Skitarii army, they're very basic, and they don't really have multiple different types of Reclaimators and like all the different units that I mentioned right now. Reason for that is just because in reality they kind of fulfill the same purposes, if that makes any sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other suggestions, just comment down below and we'll be happy to create a video for you guys. But with that said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.